While I've seen a few complaints about the numerous side characters introduced in the book, this was the easiest of the 3 High Republic books to follow. With a minimal Nihil focus, the majority of the story takes place on Starlight Beacon, and many of the characters focused on are reoccurring in their roles, making it easier to learn and understand each of them. The story does have a slow start to it, but once you can get past that, it hits you in places that hurt the most. There are also a bunch of returning characters like the crew of the vessel that are not only developed in greater detail, but add a lot to the story. Although I came in knowing that the story would be about the fall of Starlight Beacon, I was disappointed when I realized that that was the entire story. I expected the book to also deal with the immediate fallout in the galaxy of the Republic's golden symbol being destroyed. The book is basically split into 2 sections, the lead-up to the attack of the beacon, and the fallout of it. Because we already knew that the beacon was going to be destroyed, there was relatively no tension in the first half of the book, and because of this, the story dragged on and caused me to lose interest a lot. However, the story picks up in the fallout of the attack when things start to become chaotic on the station. More was happening in the story, and it always felt like anyone could die at any second. This book takes what we know about the Jedi of the High Republic and turns it on its head. We learn about what happens when the Jedi don't have the Force to rely on, and how some of them have dark secrets buried deep within. Characters like Stellan Gios and Elzer Mann really shine throughout the book, and I really enjoyed getting to learn more about the backstories and relationships of Stellan, Elzer, and Avar. The book also turned Bel Zedifer into one of my favorite new characters in the era, as a lot of time is taken to develop him and where he is at mentally and spiritually after losing his master. As expected with the destruction of Starlight Beacon, there are a lot of deaths throughout the book. Both new and familiar characters are killed, and each one hurts in a new way. Sadly, a few of the deaths are glossed over, making it not as impactful as it could have been, but the deaths of well-known characters are given plenty of time to feel the emotional weight of. I missed the Nihil's presence for the majority of the book, with only a small handful of them appearing multiple times, but I did like the emphasis on Ro's character. A lot of time is spent fleshing out the character, and he becomes a much larger villain in this book. For the most part, I enjoyed the audiobook for this book. There weren't as many sound effects of music pieces as I would have liked, but every suspenseful scene throughout the book, which there were a lot of, was always made tenser because of the subtle music in the background. The voice cast was amazing as always, with Chancellor So's voice being the only one that slightly distracted me from the story. If you've been keeping up with the High Republic so far, then this is a must-read. The fallout of this story will impact the entire future of the era, and the book is just as good as Light of the Jedi and The Rising Storm. If you haven't read anything from the High Republic, it's still possible to jump into the era with this book, but I certainly wouldn't encourage it. Small details won't make as much sense, and character deaths won't have as much meaning behind them. Despite a slow build-up, The Fallen Star is full of heart, tension, and a story that takes the era in a brand new direction, earning a grade of 8.5 out of 10.
Make sure to like, subscribe, follow me on social media, and comment down below what content you'd like to see in the future. As always, thank you all for watching, and remember,
the Force will be with you, always.